During my school days, there was this notice board near the assembly point area, and Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher was printed. And every time I used to cross by that assembly point, I used to take a pause and try to read and study the immensity of each and every words mentioned in that letter. That is simply one of the best write-ups I have ever seen. And I also remember some of the words in that letter, the content in that letter that has come straight from the heart. What President Lincoln wrote to the teacher ahead of his son's first day in school. Teach him that behind every enemy there is a friend. Teach him that behind every scoundrel there is a hero. Teach him that behind every crooked politician there is a dedicated leader. Teach him to be strong with the strong and gentle with the weak. I think if we try to understand the immense power in these words, in this letter, so if we are able to see through the darkness in life, if we have that power, if we are able to nurture and develop that power in our life to see through the darkness, there is a light awaiting at the other end. So on this World Letter Day, today is World Letters Day, and I'm not going to tell you what is the history of World Letter Day. We all know about Richard Simpkins and his famous Australian Lizards project, or just you can just Google why we are celebrating World Letter Day. But that's not important. What is important is that we celebrate it in a way that we will really remember. And I have two requests to make to you today on this World's Letters Day. One is go through with that letter, not because I am praising this letter, because you will understand life a lot better through the prism of those words mentioned in that letter. What Abraham Lincoln wrote to the teacher when his son was going to school for the first time. So go through with that letter. This is my request one. Request number two, which I have, is equally interesting. Try to pick any person who you cannot talk to face to face now, or they are no more, they are not alive, or there is someone who you just don't want to face, or there are unfortunate circumstances where there cannot be an arrangement where you can directly or indirectly talk or communicate to that person. It can be anyone. For example, in my case, it could be my grandfather. I want to tell something to him, but he is not alive, he is no more. And this void will be there in my life. So this is an example that suits my case. In your case, it could be your ex, someone who actually tormented you, who actually broke you into pieces, and who is someone who you do not want to face ever again in life. And there's an inexplicable stress and anxiety whenever you think about that person. So pick one person. It can be anyone, as I'm saying, and write a letter today to that person. Just write your heart out. Do not leave anything. Do not save anything for any rainy day. Just write your heart out. Express everything. Bring out and outpour all your emotions towards that person. It can be praise, it can be respect, regards, it can be hatred, it can be anxiety, it can be fear, it can be all your worries, apprehensions, it can be a feeling of despise, or it can be good, bad, ugly, whatever. But just outpour and write your heart out. Express all your emotions in that letter. Of course, afterwards you can either get that letter photo framed in your house, or you can just torn the paper again and throw it back to the bins. It's up to you. But when you do this, when you are writing a letter to one such person, either you cannot meet or face, or communicate in any way, or you do not want to. They are still alive, but you do not want to communicate anyway. This is one chance. Take this as an opportunity and just write a letter to them, expressing everything, why they could not understand you. What is that one thing which you wanted to tell that person and that person failed to understand you? Just do this, and you will see that it automatically relieves you of all the complexities in your systems and all the emotional baggages.